Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Brandon from Team Arsenal, back with another video. Today we'll be covering my top 8 Sketch Record Orcust deck profile from this past Tuesday. This is my first local since the pandemic began. Ended up going X1, losing the final round to Tri Brigade, and got 7th place out of 40 people. I'm not gonna go too deep into detail as far as the matchups and stuff like that, because me and Ninja did a mini vlog for that. I'll have a link to that in the description. But first round was against Sky Strikers against 6 Ams. We won that 2-0. Second round it was against Zombie Ellich with Dragoon. We won that one 2-1. Third round was against Salaman Greats. We won that 2-1 and lost in the final round of Tri Brigade 0-2. So we'll start off with the main deck and the monsters. For the Orcust lineup, we simply have double Gearsu, 1 Symbol, 1 Nightmare, 1 World 1. Now, to be honest, I wasn't really comfortable at first with playing this small of a lineup, but I did realize after a lot of testing that the only reason you're able to play cards like Dark Grapher or a bunch of Orchestra Returns is because you play so many bricks that you're trying to get out of your hand. Like if you open Orcust Nightmare or World 1 or something like that, you hate to see it. Symbol you could play around. Gearsu's off your start, so you definitely want to see that card. But seeing these two in hand and having to play around it by having other possible bricks in deck like Return or Dark Grapher only is really necessarily good when you have them in hand. I never really liked that. On top of the fact that I wanted to make more space for more spells, since we're more so heavy on the Sky Striker package than we are the Orcust package. And believe it or not, this actually worked out very, very well. Didn't need anything more than this. The only complaint was that Gearsu was a straight up hand trap magnet. Like if he resolved, I'm winning that game. But if he doesn't resolve, it's okay, cool. I guess we have to play Sky Striker and play slow pace, which the slow pace is fine because this deck is not really made to OTK. It's more so to control the game state and the board. So it did what it had to do. So that's it for those. Then for some more starters, this is what more so called our Dark Warrior package for right now. 1 Armageddonite and double Ray. We played 2 Ray because, fun fact, we were supposed to play another card in this spot, but we couldn't get the card until after the tournament. So Ninja Les brought his 2nd Ray, which definitely came up. I was strictly playing at first a Horned Drones and a Ray, and I totally regret that. This is way better. So now I'm trying to find a way to keep these 2 in, plus the other card I was mentioning. And you see we have the Armageddonite, which he's more so, I want to say, an inferior starter, because he doesn't give you as much as Gearsu does, but it gets you basically what you need, which is your Orcust Nightmare dump to get World 1 on board, to get Galatea, to then shuffle back and get your Crescendo or your Babel, whatever you may need. So yeah, those are your 3 roto targets. And then more of our spice right here. This is another one of our starters / extenders. One Purple Nightfall. This card did work. I'll be honest with you. Whether people play around columns or not didn't matter, because like as long as you had a card in a column and I had a spell, which I played like I believe like 20 of them, or a trap, which I played like I think like 5 of those. I least set in the same column, slap this down for free. Now you gotta deal with a 2500 beater that can be tagged out to search for my starter. So this is pretty good. I love this. I used to play this in my Orcust lineup when I was playing like 50 card Orcust where it was just straight gas. It's one of my older deck profiles, and like a lot of people enjoyed it, so I enjoyed it because of this versatility of this card. I was also going to play a Magnite Blue Sky. That's the card I was mentioning where I wish I had it, but I didn't have it in time. So I ended up playing 2 Ray, which I do not regret. Now I just gotta find a way to find space for the Blue Sky and the Purple Nightfall, because I want to play one of each, because it plays as an extender, which the deck sorely lacks. Other than draw power and, you know, hoarder draws, stuff like that. But yeah, definitely gonna try to either bump this up or get that Blue Sky so I can have both. And then for just the rest of the monsters, these are more so just like defenders, that's it. Triple Ash and triple Ghost Bell. I was looking at MST.TV's counter guide like I always do every month when he updates it, or every format when he updates it. And this is one of the more prominent hand traps in the game right now. It actually does pretty well. This is like stops revolt. A lot of cards with the recursion nowadays. This also protects our Orcust cards from like DD Crow, Sucker Readers, etc. Call by the Grave. And then Ash just basically just covers everything. So yeah, so we play those. I think there was one time when I actually normal summon one of these and just literally use Nightmare Affecting Graveyard to go into my Galatea. But usually they're just hand traps. Just like your opponent from playing the game. And that's it for our monster lineup. I think that was 15 monsters. For our spells, we're playing triple Foolish Burial Goods. This is a starter in the deck because it can dump your Crescendo to grave, or it can become an extender when you dump a Skystrike card you need, or your Malifaux's Fusion. That's why I play 3 of it. It's never a brick. Definitely did better than I thought it would do, because I was really iffy about putting this at 3, but the 3 definitely works out. So definitely no complaints here. And then for the rest of our spells that are non-Skystrike or non-Orcust, we play 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Malifaux's Fusion, 1 Rhoda, 1 Terraforming, and 1 Upstart Goblin. It's a 40 card deck, so that's why we play this. Sometimes we'd rather search our Babel or Area 0 off of Terraforming instead of actually using Galatea to shuffle for, because truth be told, we're more so trying to get into our Crescendo. Just having the Babel was an added bonus, because now we can go into our Ding, put Ding in the grave, so now we have the Ding Disruption plus a Negate plus Skystriker cards and hand traps. So that's usually our best board, where it's like, yeah, you have the Ding setup plus Galatea Negate, Skystriker cards in the background, and the hand trap for 2 in hand. Road's already been explained. This is basically for Ray and for Armageddonite. This is our like another version of our Upstart, basically, in a sense. Foolish Burial shouldn't have to be explained, and Call by Grave shouldn't have to be explained. Now for our heavy Sky Striker package, we're playing double Area 0, double Shark Cannon, double Widow Anchor, 1 Engage, 1 Hornet Drones, 1 Multi-Roll. We'll play double Area 0, so basically is a pile duality into our Sky Striker cards. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of times this would whiff, which that's fine. I'm just basically trying to get more cards. So I can't complain, I liked it. And then basically this is our DD Crow for the deck. It's a searchable DD Crow. And also I should mention that though we sorely lack in extenders, as far as actual bodies on the board, that's where the Shark Cannon and the Widow can come in, because that's when we use basically your cards to make our extenders. So basically, if you're playing a monster heavy deck that's like really combo oriented and we end up breaking your board with case and B and have 3 spells in grave, I'm using your cards to go into game. Engage is just Engage, it's busted. I mean, I did not expect 1 Engage to do so much work, but this card resolved so much today because everybody hated Gear Suit so much that when you went to Sky Striker plays, have 3 spells in grave, Engage just basically got you there. Horn Drones is basically our 3rd Ray, and multi-roll did work against Solomon Grits. Because we really got to a grind game in in game 1, where it lasted like 20 plus minutes. And basically what ended up winning me the game was I basically just had more advantage than he did in the long run, because he ran out of balances and everything. And I'm still just multi-roll. Still had the Orcust cards, still doing the Dingirsu Send, because we basically burned through all the crescendos. But I mean, at this point, it's just basically he's trying to fight to stay alive, so he might just go to game 2. So that's it for the Sky Striker cards. For the Orcust cards, we're playing 1 Babel, 1 Return, double Crescendo. Babel is self-explanatory. It literally makes our Orcust cards quick plays on the field and in the grave. Return is basically just a draw power, because we do draw an Orcust card and need to get out of our hand. Or we can, like say, for example, if you go to Galatea and you have no bodies where you actually have a Dingirsu grave, you can actually Dengirsu, get simple banish yourself to get Dengirsu back out. Dengirsu grab back to the symbol. Return away the Dengirsu. You basically draw 2 cards for free, and you still have your setup. So that's why that's here. And also just to clear out, obviously, Orcust on board that might be blocking our Sky Striker cards. We played double crescendo. One is supposed to be a searcher, the other is supposed to be an actual hard negate. So that's why I played 2 of it, but sometimes they end up being both negates or both searches. So we're not complaining with that problem though. And the last card in the main deck, triple infinite impermanence. I was playing droplets for a while, but the way the deck works, I would prefer to keep cards in my hand and I just basically burn them off for droplet. Like I could probably do that in other deck that where it's like my whole hand does not matter. But in this deck, I would definitely prefer to have more hand advantage going into my opponent's turn and not basically be sending stuff away from my hand or my field to negate cards inside the field. So that's why I just basically went for the 1-for-1 with infinite permanence. So that's the main deck. That's 40 cards. Going into the extra deck. For the link ones, we're playing the 1 link Karibo for the Dengirsu combo. For Sky Strikers, we're going for double Kagari, 1 Hayate, 1 Shizuku. And this is not linked to, but it's a Sky Striker card, so we played the 1 Zeke. Basically, you definitely need double Kagari in here because with the 1 engage, you like to try to recur your cards as best you can. It's a Sky Striker cards preferably. Well, obviously I would say preferably. So 2 definitely does come up, especially in grind games. The 1 Hayate, it was just basically to get free damage in and to send whatever special card we might need, obviously. So it's like a foolish barrel of goods in that sense. Shizuku shouldn't have to be explained. It's the best card you can go for at end phase if you're going for strictly Sky Strikers. And the Zeke basically helps us play around the restriction with Crescendo or the Orcust cards where you strictly have to summon darks or summon dark machines, which Zeke is. And also it's great for removal. Also can summon a great player in round 2, not round 2, round 3. He had a Bagusko on board. We basically just played around it, summoned out a Zeke, banished it until the end of his turn, and we basically went for our Orcust plays after that. So this card definitely did work. If I'd say anybody underperformed, it'd probably be the Hayate, but it's not really its fault because I'm like I really went into it when I really needed to. So I mean, it still needs to be there. But wouldn't change anything about this lineup. It's fine the way it is. Like everything, I might add 1 more Sky Striker card, but that's about it. And for the Orcust, we're just playing the triple Galatea and double Deng. We're playing long Gearsu, but in testing it didn't really come up a lot. And believe it or not, the whole entire day we only went to like 2 Galateas, so even the 3rd one's questionable, but I just have there just to be safe. Like one YouTuber has said, it's basically you have the 3rd one for training wheels if you don't know how to play with 2 Galateas, which to be honest, he told the truth. Because I kid you not, I literally went into like 2 Galatea at best and 1 Dengirsu the whole entire day. But you have the 3rd Galatea and the 2nd Dengirsu just to be safe. So like this is the main monster you end on for your board. You don't really go anything higher than that. And then for the rest of the extra deck is Barricade, Board Blocker, IP Masquerena, Unicorn, and Boral Sword. I opted to put in the Boral Sword over long Gearsu because it's obviously just a quick way to OTK. But only went to this once the whole entire day. And that's when I was literally trying to hurt and get game because we were in close time against the Zombie Illich player. And we basically just Shark Canned it twice, summoned out 2 bodies, went to our Galatea, and then basically from there just climbed up into Dengirsu and Boral Sword for game. The IP and Unicorn combo shouldn't have to be explained, especially with Babel on board. Now, the blocker I did take out a couple times, but I ended up keeping this in because when you go Crescendo to search for the Gearsu out of your main deck, it locks you strictly into summoning dark machines, so your Linkuriboh can't be summoned. So you would go Gearsu, send, make a token, turn a token and Gearsu into blocker, and then use Nightmare's effect to continue on with your plays. Like, it's longer and convoluted, unfortunately, but this helps you play around that restriction where you just won't be sitting like, oh, Gearsu token, I have to have an extender. This is basically your extender. And also, it does get cards out of your hand that you don't want in there. Like, I think once the tournament, I literally discarded a Whirlwind and a Nightmare in hand. So, yeah. But that's the extra deck. We're gonna get into the side deck. Triple Phantasme. Just want to see my extra deck. Not extra deck. Just want to see my side deck cards and more of my deck to fix my hand sometimes. Because there was like a couple times where it's like it didn't seem playable until you got your 6th card. So yeah. And then a lot of decks are relying on link summoning, like Tri-Brigade, Sky Strikers, even Orcust themselves, Salamangreats. So I feel like this is a really great main deck or side deck option right now. Because I had this in the main deck first, but I decided to side it instead, just to prevent bricking. Then I also play triple Nibiru because we don't like combo. And the one Pankratops, which I thought was really weird that I had to put this in here, but it's just basically an extender, worst come to worst. And a lot of decks really can't handle this on the outset. Like with Tri-Brigades, it basically forces them, if they have their little board of App, Revolt, and even an Ancient Warrior, it forces them to interact with this. Because you just go straight battle phase and swing out Appaloosa or the Ancient Warrior. So either they're going to have to activate their Revolt, or use the Ancient Warrior to get rid of this card beforehand, and you can just chain and then make them burn a counter, or I want to call it counters in this situation, burn counters off of the Appaloosa. So that was pretty neat. Then the rest is triple Dark Rule No More, triple Twin Twisters, 1 Harpies, and 1 Red Reboot. We hate back row, don't want to play against it. And testing against Ninja, that's all he played was Altergeist. So had to adapt to playing against back row heavy decks, which is uphill climb sometimes, to be honest, because the deck is built to go against like combo decks. So yeah, so you gotta decide for them. And then Dark Rule No More is just basically just I want to just straight out win games against like combo decks. And if I have Phantasma draw onto this, that'd be lit. So, but none of this is finalized. This is basically my first run with the deck. I didn't expect it to do so well, to be honest. But there will be more adjustments coming up. And then when I feel comfortable with it, I will possibly post it in the Facebook group for Orcust, called Orchestrated Duelist. But tell me guys what you think of the deck profile. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Rand from Team Arsenal signing out. Peace.
Hi guys, it's Bunny. Thank you guys for always supporting us and watching our videos. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And check out our other social media pages and a link down below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.